My name is Kathleen, and I am a mother of two beautiful girls. I am now a single woman at 41 years old. I'm going to be 42 this year. I am a nurse by background, so I was a registered nurse for over 12 years. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree in nursing leadership. I followed a traditional path in my life of, graduate from high school, go to university, get a degree, get married, get a job, hopefully make $100,000 a year, get a pension, get some benefits, have some babies, and then work till you're 65, retire somewhere, hopefully warm like Florida. And that's about it. So that's what I did. That's the American dream, they call it. Have one boy and one girl, and it's the American dream. But there was this thing within me that kept nagging at me. Is this all there is? Is this the purpose of life? Is this the meaning? Do I wake up, take the kids to school, go to work, come home, make dinner, bath the kids, watch a TV show, go back to bed and do the same thing again the next day? Yeah, I call it Groundhog Day all the time. It was funny. I talked about Groundhog Day and somebody went, today's Groundhog Day, right? And I went, no, I didn't know. So this idea, though, this type of life, it was like, it's great. I was making $90,000 a year. I had a loving husband and 2 beautiful kids and a house to keep me warm. But there was this feeling inside of me that there's got to be something else. And what is this life really for? And it was almost like complacency. It was almost like boredom. It just felt like I wasn't alive fully. And I felt the desire to want to be more alive. And it's so interesting because I started to follow this pathway of how could I be more alive in my life? And how could my life become an even elevated version of what it is? And the life I live today, I would not have imagined it 5 years ago. I wouldn't have even believed it to be possible if it wasn't for this work. But I decided I wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. I want to work from home. I want to take my kids to the bus. I want to have a home office. I want to work out in the middle of the day. These little things. I wanted to have more autonomy in my life, and I wanted to live life on my own terms. And I did that. But in 2019, I quit my nursing career in April because I was sick. I had pushed myself to lose over 100 pounds in 11 months by depriving myself and eating under 800 calories. And I got sick and I lost my driver's license and I was on the long-term disability. I had vasovagal syncope from basically starving myself and dropping weight so fast my heart couldn't keep up. So a few months later, the weight was all coming back on. I was really, really sad. I decided to just quit my career and not go back. They were stressing me out too much, wanting me to go back to work. I wasn't ready. We downsized our house and I felt a lot of guilt and I felt a lot of shame. And I decided something had to give and something had to change. And it was time for me to really consider that. What would it be like for me to change and to really quantum leap my life? And the bridge of incidents that unfolded was just so beautiful because when you're ready, the teacher will appear. And so at that point, that's where I got introduced to a beautiful woman named Danielle, who introduced me to Bob Proctor. I'd never heard of him before. I'd seen the movie The Secret. I saw it a couple of times, read the book, but didn't remember people from it or didn't remember too much from it. But I remember it resonated at the time. And I got introduced to Bob, signed up for a program with him, and my life began to turn around rapidly. And the shift there was that I decided to go within. I decided to turn my focus not from getting another degree and getting another certification and studying how to be a better nurse or how to be a better leader or how to do this or how to do that. And I shifted my focus on getting to know myself, understanding myself, asking myself questions, and really, really being an observer of who I believed I was, right? Who I believed I was at that time. My life started to switch a lot and very, very quickly. Things I would write down started to show up in the physical world for me. I would think, I'd love a coffee. And next thing you know, somebody would stop by with a coffee. I would say something like, I'd love to be an author one day. Wouldn't that be cool? I just started thinking about these possible things. And somebody reached out to me and said, I'm writing a book. Would you like to do a chapter in the book for me? Well, yes, thank you. I would love to do that. Little things. I decided I was going to win a giveaway. The vortex that is created when we are all on here and we are all open to tap into a higher prosperity consciousness is very powerful. So feel it, take it all in, allow yourself to really be a part of it because it is very powerful. So when I say money can start coming from anywhere, when you start to match it, You absolutely will. This is really powerful. So I decided I wanted to win a giveaway in 2019 and I won. Like all of these things started just happening and happening and happening. And I remember people started saying to me, Kathleen, you've got to teach this material. Like you're a powerful manifestor. You've got to do this. Like what's going on here? And I made the decision to do it. And I started partnering with Bob Proctor first. And I launched my coaching business January of 2020 and I made $1 million cash. Okay. So I was making like $3,500 to $4,000 as a nurse every month. And then I made $1 million in 7 months. And then 3.3 in that year. The next year was 12 million. So we here now are sitting here for 4 years. Only 4 years. It's gone by so incredibly fast, but it's only been 4 years. Diamond Academy is still in its infancy. If you think about it, 4 years, we're like a toddler. Of course, I'm a manifesting generator, but 4 years later, we are edging towards 30 million in revenue in under 4 years. A nurse from Toronto, Canada, that was depressed, that was in guilt and shame, who did not believe in herself back then. How did I do that? I tapped into a prosperity consciousness and I shifted my identity. I've also manifested many, many other things. Money is the thing we're going to talk about here, but I am truly the happiest that I have ever been. I am truly at peace and whole. I have connected to my oneness. My connection to source energy, to God, is like it has never been before. And so there is so much more to say. I've released 100 pounds since my surgery through no deprivation, no measuring food, no writing anything down, no diets, by changing the way I see me and what I desire in this life. And so truly you can do anything. We're just going to talk about money specifically, but just know that there's so much more to life. And even when you have all the money in the world, there is going to be other things that you're not going to have that you're going to want. Money doesn't make you happy. If you're already a happy person and you get money, you'll be happier. But if you're a sad person and then you get money, you're just going to be sad with money. So I really want us to ascend in the way we see ourselves, the way we see life. I want us to see the abundance already that is existing. I want us to tap into a higher level of spirituality. And I want you to actually realize who and what you really are and how money is just a way of amplifying the divine in you even further. And one of my favorite quotes that I saw, I can be really spiritual and love Prada at the same time. And this is what I want you guys to realize. There's this strange thing, and I don't know what it's about, that actually I do know exactly what it's about, but anyways, where we believe that being super, super spiritual, really, really connecting to your oneness means that you no longer desire money and that money and spirituality don't go together. But if you really know what money is, which I'm going to talk to you about today, then you realize that money is God in action. And the more that you connect to God, the more abundant you will be. And our natural state is abundance and prosperity. Our natural state is not to want or to need or to lack things. It is not to struggle. It is to exist and have a beautiful human experience with ups and downs of the law of rhythm, of course. But you are meant to be abundant and prosperous. You know, Bob used to say abundance is our birthright. And I didn't get that. I was like, what you talking about? But now that I've connected to such a higher level of wealth and done it in such a beautiful way, I am so much more connected to God because I am doing God's work. I am answering the call to good, Romans 8:28. I'm not a religious woman. I am a spiritual woman. And so you can use whatever language you feel called to use. You can say God, you can say source, you can say universe, whatever language. It's the God of your understanding, but it's the source energy. It's where everything and anything comes from, is that one place. And you are connected at every single moment. You are a beautiful vessel for God's work if you choose to see it. The only way that God is not there for you is if you are not there for God. And if you want the best that the world has to offer, then you need to give the world your best. That is a Neil Donald Walsh quote that I just finished a mentorship series with as well. So I have been connecting with some great, great spiritual teachers in this work and studied this very, very much. But I am here to really show you that by tapping into a higher level of awareness and understanding, by awakening yourself from the dominant paradigm that is humanity, that you can ascend and elevate into a higher level version of you. So that is what we are going to talk about today. And so money, I know people say money is energy, money is energy, money is energy. I think that's confusing. I think that actually doesn't make entirely a lot of sense to a lot of people. So what I truly believe is money is a spiritual idea. And if we believe that money is a spiritual idea, then we can tap into all the money that is available to us if we spiritually understand what it really is. And so the law of infinite supply is one of my favorite universal laws. And the reason that I love this law so much, and I will tell you, I fought this law at the beginning. When I first learned about it, I was like, this can't be true. This cannot be true. But if you think about the law of infinite supply, right? So this law says that as long as there is a demand, there is an infinite supply of all the good that you desire in this world. So there is an infinite supply of love, as long as you create the demand for more love. There's an infinite amount of peace. If we create the demand for more peace, there's an infinite amount of money if we create the demand for money. So what does demand mean then? Right? Where does demand come from? You cannot receive higher levels of love if you are not love yourself, if you don't give it, if you don't feel it, if you don't allow yourself to be it, you cannot give it and you will not receive more of it, right? So how is money a spiritual idea? Where does everything come from? And money itself. So money is who created it? Where'd it come from? It's a human creation. Before us, it wasn't here, right? It's not a natural resource that exists. It's not the oceans. It's not the land. It's not the trees, right? So humanity brought money into existence. And everything that humanity brought onto existence came from where? From the imagination. And what is the imagination? God. God works through us through our imagination. So we created money through God in order for us to have a means and a mechanism for exchange. But it was not created for us to be fighting over it, for us to be stressing about it and worrying about it before we go to sleep at night, for us to fear it, for us to believe that it's hard to make. It was created for an exchange. And I actually don't really like to use the language of earning money because that actually triggers me. The old belief used to be that I had to work hard for money and I had to earn it. You better work for your money. What's that song? So I'm not saying that we don't do anything for money. So I don't sit here in my meditation state and be like, God, give me money. And then it just comes through me as I sit there and meditate all day. Like I am doing something in exchange for money. There always has to be an exchange, right? But this idea that you have to work really hard, that you have to earn it, I just want to let go of it because it ties us to the hardness, to the earning, to the working. And so instead, even the idea of making money, do we make it? Are we actually making it? Are we printing it? Are we doing that? No. What we're actually doing is being open to receive it. What we're actually doing is moving the energy. So when I talk about my biggest cash day, so there was one day where I moved the energy of $400,000 cash in one day. I had 400,000 come into my business in one day. Okay. I was a registered nurse who made $38 an hour working at the bedside. I got paid, exchanged my hours, and I didn't even work that day. And 400,000 cash. How do we explain this? Did I earn it? Did I make it? What happened there? I was open to receive it by the way in which I was being and showing up at that moment in my life. So we want to change some of the language that we use. So it's an exchange. We can say that it's energetically, we're moving things differently. We're open to receive. You've attracted it. You've drawn it to you. But the money that you want, we wouldn't argue that it's not here, would we? Like the money you want is there. It might be in somebody else's bank account. It might be circulating in a slot machine in Vegas right now. It could be anywhere, but it is there. So it's about making you open and available in order to receive that. And it's the same thing with anything that you desire in your life, the business of your dreams, the clients that you desire, the award that you want, that stage you want to speak on. It's all there for you. It's just about you matching it and making it part of your experience. And trust me when I say that it's not that hard. And the harder that we make it, the harder that it will get. So if you believe that it's hard to make money, it will forever be hard. That will be your experience for sure. What is the law of attraction? So let's think about it in terms of money. This is really great. This is a powerful, powerful way to understand the law of attraction and how it works specifically with money. So with relationships, you attract what you believe you're worthy of, right? So the anxious attachment style woman tends to attract an avoidant attachment style man. Why? Because I need you, I need you, I need you, but I don't want you to get away. And so I like to need you. I can't need you if you're there. So I need you to be avoidant so that it can feed my paradigm, right? So we will attract to us what we believe we are worthy of. Somebody said to me, both of the major relationships I've been in, they've had addiction. And it's not about them. It's about why or do you believe that you are not worthy of someone without an addiction? Why do you believe that you are not worthy of somebody loving and caring and et cetera, et cetera? So that's relationships. If we think about negative opportunities in our life and negative experiences, why is it that there's certain people that everywhere they go, everything is wrong and it is messed up? My order is always wrong. My parcels always come late. This person is always mean to me at the store. This person always wants to fight with me. Blah, 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 blah. Is it that the world is a negative, nasty place and you're just observing a negative, nasty world? Or is it that you yourself have assumptions, wrong and small thoughts about you, judgments? And I'm not saying you're a wrong and nasty person, but you are not expecting the best that the world has to offer. And therefore you are not getting what the best of what the world has to offer. So lucky girl syndrome that went viral on TikTok, a lot of media outlets wanted me to talk about it when that happened. And what's so cool about that is that this woman shifted her belief to say, you know what? I have the worst luck, but I'm going to change my mind. And I'm going to decide that I have good luck. I'm a lucky girl. Everything good happens to me. So guess what happened? She starts seeing the good in everything because that's what she's asking for. So she notices the good. And then she starts to think, oh, look at this. The world is a good place. I'm so lucky. And then she starts attracting things that match to her lucky identity. And she starts to win things and earn things and meet great people and have great opportunities. So this is what I'm talking about. Now let's think about money then in the law of attraction, right? So we are energy and it vibrates. And so we attract to us other energy that vibrates at a similar frequency of vibration to that which we are vibrating at, right? So if I'm really mad at money, I never have enough of you. Like you're never there when I need you. You're telling me that I got to pay a $200 bill for electricity today. I don't want to pay this bill. Oh, this is too expensive. Oh, I can't afford it. And then you're fighting about money. And then you're worrying about money before you go to sleep at night. What's happening there? You don't value it. You talk negatively about it. And so money is like, she doesn't want me. She keeps talking about how she doesn't have enough. So I'm just going to let her stay where she's at. Right? So the law of attraction doesn't say, oh, hold on a minute. She's vibrating as someone with no money, yet I think she might want it. So I'm going to override the way she's vibrating and actually give her what I think she'd actually want instead. Doesn't work that way. How it works is what you are vibrating at is what you attract from. So when it comes to making money, earning money, manifesting money, attracting money, whatever language you want to work with here, you must have an exchange. So there has to be a way in which you are exchanging money for value. The law of compensation. So what are you doing in exchange for the money, right? So if someone is a massage therapist, they provide a service for a certain amount of money. There's an exchange. I'll give you a massage and you will pay me this money for the massage, right? So we can clearly get that. But if you're somebody that wants to bring money to your life, but you do not have a way in which you are serving, you don't have an exchange, you're confused, right? Why would we at age 65 say, universe, I no longer want any more money. I am no longer going to exchange anything. I am no longer open to receive. Cut me off. Goodbye. It's madness. Let's figure out how to develop a prosperity consciousness today. So when we're 65 and 70 years old, we can no longer work, but still open to receive because we have a wealth consciousness and we have things that are generating revenue for us. Time for money is implementation, the lowest level of value in the marketplace. It's part of an identity. It's a way of seeing yourself. Like now that I've changed the way in which I see myself, it would be very, very difficult for me to go and do something that charges by the hour. It's just different. So you might start that way and then you move into something that can actually help more people in a bigger way, have greater impact, provide more service. The greater you serve, the more value that you give at a higher level of identity and awareness. This is where you start to make money. So think about somebody like Bezos. He is an example of somebody that has an identity that, he doesn't exchange time for money. There's no way. And he has so much more than he can even comprehend available to him. Coming. It's absolute abundance and prosperity. It is overflow. He has tapped into the law of infinite supply 100%, right? And what's different about him? Why can he do it? Tell me. Tell me the differences. What does he have that you don't have that I don't have? Absolutely nothing. You have everything he has. Absolutely. Whatever that man can do, you can do without a shadow of a doubt. And so everything that you need is within you. It is a part of you. It is nowhere else but within. And so most people are seeking it everywhere else. I do not tell you to go anywhere. I tell you to go in here. That's it. So if we are all meant to experience abundance and prosperity like Jeff Bezos, then we just need to think like the people that have abundance and prosperity. These beliefs that there is a limit or that there is a privilege, right? So we can go both ways. So if I believe that there are certain things within me that make me better and make it easier for me, that will help me to be more successful. Yes. But if there's things about me that I believe are a limit to me, I can't do this because I don't have the education. I can't do this because I grew up in a poor neighborhood. I can't do this because I'm not thin. I can't do this because I'm not beautiful. I can't do this because my parents never had money, so I'm never going to have money. Remember that we are not our bodies. We are in our bodies, right? So we are source energy. We are a differentiated version of an undifferentiated God that flows to and through us. That source energy flows to and through us. I call it my spirit. You can call it your soul, whatever, but that's what you really are. You're not a human with a soul. You're a soul inside a human body having a human experience. And so the source energy flowing to and through you, the soul, that is you. Does it have a gender? Does it have a race? No. Does it have education? Does it have a degree on its wall? No. So it's really tapping back into that. It's actually tapping back into the potentiality of who and what you really are and dropping all the limitations. All of the reasons why you think you can't do it, why it's been harder on you, you've got to start letting go of all of that. When you let go of all of that, you start to open yourself up. That light inside you starts to just shine and shine and shine and glow. And it's because you're tapping into who and what you really are. It's really beautiful. We have to stop. So I'm actually having you relate to Jeff Bezos or relate to Beyonce or to Oprah or to whoever else has the level of abundance you would desire in your life. I'm having you relate to them so that you can see that you are one. We are all the same. And so that possibility is there for you. It's really beautiful. I'm loosening up your model today when it comes to money. Just getting you to think outside the box. And listen, we all have limitations. So even me sitting here today, talking to you from this place, there are many, 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 many things that I can just go by whenever I want. So when it was my birthday, it was like, what do we get, Kathleen? I don't know, honestly, but I have limits. How do I know I have limits? So this is where we want to go within and we want to ask ourselves, what can we do to remove our limits, to allow us to be open to receive more? But I have to say at this place that I'm in my life right now, it is actually more about service and impact. It is more about my call to good. And so God speaks through me all the time and I listen And this message is a message that is meant to be heard, and it is meant to be heard by millions of people. And so we are on our way to that. This is the biggest live audience I think that we've had to date when you combine this and YouTube. So that is just evidence that this is the message that is meant to come through, that everybody is meant to hear. Because when we are all thinking love and we are all thinking peace and we are all thinking prosperity and abundance, this is where we elevate collective consciousness. And this is where we make impactful change.